The Fellowship event is here. It is a carbon copy of the St. Patrick's Day event, but that's actually a better thing than you might think, and I'll explain why. First though, let's start by talking about what you can win for free. The 4x4 Summerhold Manor has 9 levels, with a 10th golden level. It provides happiness, but no coins or population. It'll also give your city a 15 to 25% attack boost for attacking armies, and a 9 to 21% defense boost for defending armies. When motivated, it'll provide 4 to 9 forge points, 30 current age goods, 5 previous age goods, and a random production of 2, 5, or 10 forge points at odds of 50, 30, and 20% respectively. However, these aren't normal forge points. Rather, they're forge point packages, the same ones that you can get from leveling great buildings. This means that this building will provide some forge points that go directly to your inventory, not your forge point bar. You'll also get 1 fragment of the Feast and Fables selection kit, which requires 100 fragments. The selection kit provides either the Jester stage or Grilling Grove, which we'll talk about later. Using the gold upgrade will make your Summerhold Manor into the Sunhaven Palace, which will once again provide only happiness and not coins or population. However, now you get a 27 to 35% attack boost for attacking armies, a 15 to 31% attack boost, and a 21 to 31% defense boost for defending armies, and a 30 to 35% coin boost. When motivated, you'll get 9 to 13 forge points, 40 current age goods, and 10 previous age goods. We have the same random production of 2, 5, or 10 forge point packages, but the odds have changed to be 20, 30, and 50% respectively, weighting the 10 forge point package higher. You also now get 3 fragments of the Feast and Fables selection kit. That's not all though. There's another golden upgrade in this event and 3 other new buildings. The Heroes Tavern, introduced in the previous Fellowship event, can now be upgraded to the Legendary Lodge with its new golden upgrade, at which point it'll provide more happiness, coins, and population, a 14 to 25% attack boost for attacking armies, a 21 to 31% defense boost for attacking armies, and a 14 to 25% attack boost for defending armies. It will also produce 15 forge points and 20 to 50 goods. The best part is that you should actually be able to get this golden upgrade for free. Our next new building is the 2x3 Jester's stage. It'll provide happiness, a 10 to 15 attack, and a 17 to 22% defense boost for defending armies, 10 to 35 current age goods, 3 fragments of the Finish 1 event building item, which requires 30 fragments to assemble, and a random production of 2, 4, or 6 blueprints at odds of 50, 30, and 20% respectively. The next building is the Grilling Grove. This 2x2 building provides happiness, a 7 to 11% attack boost for attacking armies, a 9 to 13 attack boost for defending armies, 1 forge point, 2 fragments of a 1-up kit, and a random production of 2, 5, or 10 forge point packages at odds of 50, 30, and 20% respectively. The final new building is the 1x1 Trailside Smithy. This tiny building provides happiness, up to a 5% attack and defense boost for attacking armies, 4 forge points, and 5 goods. Oh, and it'll also have a random production of 20 fragments of either the Summerhold Manor selection kit or the Sunhaven Palace Golden Upgrade at odds of 90 and 10% each. You need 150 fragments to assemble each item, meaning that it will only take on average 75 days to assemble a full Sunhaven Palace from it. However, you'll only get it if you're lucky or rich enough to get into the Gold League to win it. We'll talk about the leagues later on though. Beyond the new buildings, the only other new item is the Epic Fellowship 2023 selection kit. This selection kit provides the upgrades and base building for the Heroes Tavern, as well as the Knights Pavilion and the Flower Maidens, which was previously exclusive to the Event Pass. Speaking of the Event Pass, we now have 2. The Silver and Gold Event Passes each cost $15 separately, or $25 when purchased together, and you must purchase the Silver Pass before being able to purchase the Gold Pass if you buy them individually. This event, there are actually no exclusive buildings to the Event Pass. Instead, they're merely the most consistent ways to get golden upgrades, the Jester stage in Grilling Grove, the Epic Kit, and the new exclusive avatars. However, be aware that besides the infrequent ones in the free grand prize list, Only the Gold Pass will be giving the golden upgrades for the Heroes Tavern and gives more grilling groves, while the Silver Pass focuses instead on the Jester's stage. For those who are curious, the Silver Event Pass will give you a third Sunhaven Palace to every 2 of the free grand prizes, and the Gold Event Pass will give 4. This event's minigame is a little different in how you progress towards the grand prizes than most other events, so let's talk about it. The Fellowship event has the same minigame as the St. Patrick's Day event, the exact same balancing, and the exact same task lists. But if you didn't play that event, here's a quick rundown. First, you purchase buildings that produce feast provisions and have to keep clicking on them to start new productions. 2, you can purchase overseers that start a new production for you. 3, you can use your feast provisions to upgrade buildings and purchase new ones. 4, as you progress, you can complete tasks which count towards grand prizes. Finally, you can pay a large sum of feast provisions to end your current town and progress to a new one. After ending a town, but before starting a new one, you can purchase prize boxes. If it's still confusing, I'll be making a video specifically diving into a simple explanation of the minigame soon. Subscribe so that you don't miss it. There are no daily specials, and instead you can get a prize in one of 3 ways. The first is by completing a task, and you can get a small reward like a unit or a couple of goods. The second is from grand prizes. Every 25 tasks you complete will net you one of these. Third and lastly, once you finish a town, you then get to open the end of town boxes using gemstones. Each of the 6 boxes you open will cost different amounts. The first is free, then the next is 50, 100, 200, 500, and 1,000 gemstones, for a total of 1,850 gemstones for the whole lot. If you buy them all, you can get a discount of only 1,400 gemstones, but this is really only worth it if you plan on buying the 6th and final box. If you do buy them all, you'll receive a new set of boxes that starts at 50 gemstones and gets progressively more expensive from there. And also, after buying out a set of 6 boxes, you get the Feast and Fables selection kit. Each box also has a specific list of rewards that it can give. The first can give either a Finish All Supply Productions item, Finish All Special Productions item, Finish Special Production item, or a 1-up kit. The second gives either a Flower Maidens Knights Pavilion or Epic Fellowship kit. The third provides a Heroes Tavern upgrade or a Level 1 Heroes Tavern. The fourth provides a Druid Temple Selection Kit, Celtic Forest Selection Kit, or Celtic Farmstead Selection Kit. The fifth gives either special goods or next age goods if you aren't yet in an age with special goods, medals, 10 blueprints, or forge points. And the sixth gives either a Summerhold Manor upgrade or a level 1 Summerhold Manor. There is one substantial change that we need to talk about though that makes this event completely different from the St. Patrick's one. The full golden upgrade for the Sunhaven Palace sits at 300 progress, and the Legendary Lodge upgrade at 325. Both of these are possible to receive for free compared to the most recent St. Patrick's Day event where you had to reach a whopping 600 progress for the full golden upgrade. The strategies that I give will be focused mostly towards getting these 2 upgrades from the grand prizes and then the best way to spend your gemstones afterwards. As you may guess though, this event can be rather confusing. So before we get into the main strategies for the event, I'd like to present to you my event spreadsheet. It'll allow you to track your progress, tell you when to upgrade buildings, managers, and which tasks to skip, as well as showing you what levels your building should be at for each task, all in the pursuit of completing towns as efficiently as possible. This way, you won't need to watch a video on how to complete each town and can instead easily check items off of a to-do list. I'll be making an explainer video for how to use it, which I'll link below the like button with the spreadsheet. Okay, now back to strategies. For the sake of hitting 325 progress to get both golden upgrades for free, you will have to complete 11 towns in this event, including the first town that you can complete rather quickly. This means that you'll have to average about 1 town every 2 days. Each town requires different optimal levels of managers to manage your buildings, and here's the list of the levels that each manager should be at. Now, you might notice that there's only 3 towns listed here, but I previously said that we would be playing 11 towns. That's because there's only 3 variants of the task lists for the towns, and afterwards they repeat. So Town 1 has the same tasks as Towns 4, 7, and 10, etc., and same with the other variants. With these optimal manager levels, you'll be spending 620, 710, and 630 gemstones on each variant of town, respectively, but only 140 on the first town that you play in the minigame. The total number of gemstones you can get in this event for free is 11,200, meaning that after you spend the 6,730 gemstones needed for those 11 towns, you'll have 4,470 gemstones remaining. Our question is how we spend these gemstones. And I have a suggestion if you'd like to gamble a little bit. My suggestion is to attempt to get a free Heroes Tavern or Summerhold Manor from the end of town boxes. Unfortunately, you won't be able to get the Legendary Lodge or Sunhaven Palace upgrades, but you have a decent shot at the level 10 version of the Heroes Tavern and the level 9 version of the Summerhold Manor. We can do this simply by buying the end of town boxes, and the odds of you being able to afford either are pretty high. If you've got any Heroes Tavern upgrades from the previous Fellowship event, your odds for that are even higher. There's a lot of lines on this graph, I know, but the important thing is finding which color represents the number of upgrades that you need. For most players, this is going to be 9, as we can get the level 1 tavern from the Epic Kit in the League rewards at the end of the event. After completing 11 towns, that leaves you only a 56% chance of winning the upgrades needed for the Heroes Tavern, which is kind of low, but if you've got, say, 2 upgrades from last year's event and only need 7, that brings you up to over 76%. Now, if you're thinking you'd rather go for another Summerhold Manor, that's also an option. By completing at least 7 towns, you get an extra level 1 manor, so you only need 8 upgrades. Additionally, depending on your server, placing in the Bronze League could net you another. However, assuming that you need 8 upgrades, after 11 towns, you'd have a 54% chance of getting all the upgrades. If you're able to get, say, 500 gems from incidents, which is likely, you'd have a 64% chance of getting all the upgrades that you need. I'm honestly not sure which of these options, the Heroes Tavern or Summerhold Manor, you would prefer. The Heroes Tavern gives defense for attacking armies, while the Summerhold Manor gives you goods and a fragment of the Feast and Fables selection kit. I think I'll leave that choice up to you. Now, what if you don't want to or have the time to rush for a town every 2 days per the strategies that I described earlier? The good news is that you don't have to. You can choose to forgo the Golden Upgrade, as the level 9 Summerhold Manor is pretty good without it, and complete only 4 towns, including the shorter first one. This means that you would have to average only 1 town per 5 days. If you choose to do this, you'll have to buy the first set of boxes at the end of each town to get the Summerhold Manor upgrades. And if you're unlucky, you'll see the level 1 manor show up and you will have to complete an extra town to get the next upgrade kit from the grand prizes. You should have enough time though, so don't worry too much about it. And now, I'm going to do something that I have never done before in an event video. Speak to the big money spenders. You see, this event has leagues based on how many tasks you complete over the course of the event. Most players will fall into the lower leagues, but for those that make it into the Gold League, you will be able to get the Trailside Smithy. This is potentially the cheapest building of its ilk that's ever been added to the game. Comparatively, you'd have had to purchase 7 Keymasters Workshops in the Anniversary event or 7 Cartographers' houses in the Summer event to equal this single 1x1 building. In short, if you're going to spend money on this event, this building should be your single focus. Also, you should know that it's better spending your diamonds to level your managers higher than trying to buy more Sunhaven Palaces from end-of-town boxes or purchasing the time skips. I can't wait to see the battle for the Gold League. However, we can't forget about the whopping 8 new portraits. The first 2 can be won in the quest line, the 3rd from the free grand prize tracker, the 4th and 5th from the silver event pass, the 6th and 7th from the gold event pass, and the final one from the Gold League. Alright, now that's the end of this video, but stay tuned for 2 new videos, one covering the Fellowship Events minigame, and another covering my spreadsheet, both of which I will link in the description or on screen here once they release. Join my Discord for help with the event, and as always, I'll see you all next time.